All right, day 13. This is going to be the longest drive yet. I'm going to try to make a 2-day drive into a real long drive. Basically, I'm going to be going from Oklahoma nonstop, charging all the way up to Michigan. So let's hit that open road. Kind of struggling here. How do I make an interesting video where literally all I'm doing all day long is just driving and charging? A couple kind of interesting things happened today. Stopped at the very final Buc-ee's on the way home in Missouri. You know, a lot of people were telling me, you gotta get the barbecue, And I'm really, honestly, not really a barbecue guy. Oh my God, that Buc-ee's barbecue was good though. I think I've been converted. They had these really good, pudding pie things too. Oddly enough, I stopped at my first Casey's General Store where I had to charge up today. Gotta quick publicly shame this guy for using a pull install when he's not using a trailer. Poor charging etiquette, dude. And one really cool thing that happened on this drive was a couple weeks ago I put in a shout out in my favorite radio station that I knew I was going to be listening to a whole lot on this trip. Just wanted to see if I'd get a shout out, and guess what?
This is the State of Trance, episode 1173. Let's have a quick look at the emails that came in. Casey Loring is on a 50 hours road trip from Muskegon, Michigan to Boca Chica in Texas, and he planned to listen to at least 25 episodes of the State of Trance during the drive. Or listen to the State of Trance.
Oh man, that's too good. It's always crazy to hear your name come out of Armin van Buuren's mouth.
But first, a track that I premiered in the State of Trance in Rotterdam. It's on the State of Trance 2024 compilation. It's from my friend Andrew Rayel. This is The Abyss.
Thanks to everybody who runs that radio show, because that's definitely the top thing I listen to on the whole ride up and down by myself. Hands down, the most interesting stop of the day was Uranus Fudge Factory. What a very weird thing to kind of run into in the middle of nowhere. I didn't stop to get any fudge, but there's definitely a roadside attraction with a lot of weird things. Not a whole lot of people were there. It was kind of like a ghost town. Very strange, but I loved it. I can't reiterate enough how nice having FSD supervised on this trip was. Really just kind of makes you feel like a passenger in the driver's seat. It just takes over everything. One interesting thing is today is the NCAA National Championship hockey game. Y'all know how much of a college hockey fan I am, so I spent a good chunk of the evening listening to Denver take on Boston College, the powerhouse that ousted my Michigan Tech Huskies. As I'm getting close to being home, I just got to take a second to reflect on how truly lucky I am. I just did this 4,000-mile trip. I didn't have a single flat tire. I didn't have a single rock chip in my windshield. My car was basically flawless. I just hit 4,000 miles on this trip, and I'm so close to being home. The sun's gone down, and it's pretty much nighttime driving through Michigan. I'm on the final home stretch, getting so sleepy. It's been a long time since I've drove. I don't think I've ever driven this many hours by myself in a day, and all I can do is think about getting home to my kitties, who I haven't seen in 2 weeks. I'm sure Cassie's sleeping right now. I'm not even gonna bother waking her up. This is surreal. I'm almost home. I want to take a quick moment again to thank those folks that did the demo drives for me. It really made this trip affordable for me. I barely had to spend any money in electricity, which I'll go over tomorrow. But thanks again, Dave, Brian, Nikki, Cassie, Cullen, Katie, Elijah, Maggie, Randy, Bron, Derek, Nick, Kaylee, and Keith. All those drives you guys did for me basically made this trip with free electricity. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys. You guys allowed me to do this. I also can't forget, I gotta thank Carl Bloss for letting me borrow his solar panels. That helped me camp every night that I did. Of course, Steve House for letting me stay in his absolutely beautiful place. That made the trip more comfortable than I could ever have imagined. And last but not least, I have to thank Glenn and Kathy Fillion for running a company that allows me to take a 2-week paid vacation from work to really remember who I am and recharge my own internal batteries. And of course, Kevin, Corey, Lori, and Heidi for holding down the fort at work while I was gone for 2 whole weeks. You guys are the best. This definitely wouldn't have been possible without you guys. Oh, Brian was so glad to see me. I was a little nervous about going on such a long road trip that something bad could happen, traffic accident or something, but I lucked out. Definitely not taking it for granted how lucky I am that this trip went so flawless. And Carl's just glad I made it back. All right, I'm home, and I got one more day of vacation left. I got to transition back to normal life, and I'll see you tomorrow on day 14.